And welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Knowledge. You know, there's some things in this hobby that is going on right now, and unfortunately one of the big things is sometimes you just have to turn off your brain a little bit. I know that sounds crazy. Right now, just the moves that are happening in this market, the absolute FOMO that's going on, everything's going up. Every project's going up. Everything is selling out. We are right back to 2020. This is at the moment. Right now in time, you kind of just have to turn your brain off. Because right now, if you listen to your brain is probably going to make logical, reasonable arguments of why you should not do something. Unfortunately, the two things that I just said is logical and reasonable. This hobby right now is not logical. This hobby is not reasonable. And it's just sometimes you see stuff happen and you just instantly know. I'll give you an example. What do I mean by that? You're saying, okay, PK, I get it, PK, you like to rant, but now you're not making any sense. Well, I'll give you an example of something that happened yesterday. So, less than 24 hours ago. So, Rudy from Alpha Investments made a video. Let me find the title of it. It was, sorry. Probably should have thought this one through before so let's see. Rudy made a video called "A Major Black Swan Event Just Happened." 50,000 views, happened yesterday, and all he talked about in that live was Magic the Gathering. So one of their sets is Kaladesh, and I guess Kaladesh is a racist term. No clue. Had no clue that was a thing. And as soon as it was over, I watched that video. I just happened to be at work and I was looking at my subscription feed and that video popped up. I don't own any Kaladesh booster boxes. Never have. Don't really plan on it. One of the things I have a lot of is I have a lot of just random dead TCG booster boxes. Magic the Gathering is not a booster box that I keep up with for every set because there's just too many Magic the Gathering booster boxes. Like, I have a couple, like, I don't even know. Maybe I don't even know if I have any. I think this is the most recent one I have. I don't own a lot of Magic the Gathering boxes. This is the most recent one that I have. Just the Universes Beyond the Lord of the Rings. That was the last random box I picked up because I'm like, you know what? This would be cool to just have, like, I do have a few Magic the Gathering booster boxes over there, but nothing crazy. And I was like, oh, Lord of the Rings, I think it's going to do well long term just because of, like, we talked about on the channel. Shout out to Peak That Chew. Peak That Chew came on during the time Lord of the Rings. We had some Lord of the Rings conversations about whatever. I picked up one. When did that thing get released? That's been a while. So I don't have huge positions in Magic the Gathering. Rudy made his video. As soon as I watched it, I just went out and I instantly went on eBay, turned my brain off because my brain was on. I turned it off. I just looked up Kaladesh booster boxes that were currently selling. I looked at the recent sold. Bunch of them had recently sold, like around the 350 mark. I looked on eBay. I found the cheapest booster box that was available. I found a buyer that looked like, like a seller that looked like he was legit. And this is it. Let me just see if, there you go. I bought this booster box yesterday. I purchased that December 11th at 12:30 p.m. $399 plus $40 shipping. So, like, with taxes and everything, I can tell you the exact price. So, with taxes and everything, came out to $466.28. Wasn't in the market for that. Don't care about that booster box. But I just knew, watching his video, I said, I've been around this hobby long enough that Rudy made this video. Obviously, this is a big deal. People are going to FOMO into these booster boxes. And I said, turn my brain off for a second. I can't tell you one card can't tell you one card in the set. Don't know, don't care. Not a Magic the Gathering collector, not a Magic the Gathering investor. Yeah, I got a couple, like I said, Lord of the Rings, like I got a handful of booster boxes over there, nothing. Like it's probably less than 5, well, maybe a little more than 5. Not a lot though. And didn't know anything about it, but I just know the market. I'm like, the market will react to this information and it will probably have a huge instant increase in money. So I spent $500 on it. You can go look at recent sales of that booster box right now, today, one day later. They are selling constantly at $750. I told you I spent $466 yesterday about a set that I didn't care about, was not in the market for. And all I was worried about was that if the buyer or the seller was actually going to ship it or not. I didn't know. I said maybe the seller will ship it, or maybe the seller will see that, he had his box listed high. So by the time I bought into that box, that was the high end of what was left on the market. All the cheaper boxes were already gone. I was late to the game, but I looked at the, recent sold, and I said, okay, they're all sold. I said, I'll pick this one up. It was just that box, while it's still expensive, was the cheapest one available on the market at the exact second and exact minute that I bought that. There was none cheaper. So I said, I'll just buy it. And then by the end of the day, there was, auctions that sold for greater than 1,000. And then eventually, obviously, people who didn't have boxes for sale reacted, and then the prices went down. But then they settled right around $750. You go look at sold listings today, and they're at $750. I'm going to get that booster box in, and I'm just going to instantly just sell it. Now, I don't even need to get $750 for that box. If I could walk away up, I spent $460 all in. $466 all in. Well, that's with taxes, shipping, the cost of the box, everything, all in. $466. If I could walk away at $566, I will make an instant 25%. Meaning as fast as that, I can't list the box yet because I don't have it in hand. So I have to make sure that when I get it in hand, I'll do my, checks. I'll make sure there's not any crazy rips or tears. But I looked at the photos. It looked legit. And I'll have to get it in hand before I can do anything, before I can list it. And I'll probably make an easy $100. Probably more, because if they keep selling for $750 and that's where it stabilizes, I'm going to make 50% on my money. For doing nothing. I didn't do anything. I literally did not do anything. I just watched a video, said, okay, I recognize this market. I deal in this market. I don't deal in Magic, but I deal in trading cards. I deal in hype. I deal in FOMO. I deal with, how market sentiment is immediately in a second of the day. And so much of this hobby is just living in the exact moment. I think so many times I'm just tired of hearing people talk about, like, what do you think's going to happen in a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 10 years from now? I love to have those conversations. Rewind a year ago. I love to have that conversation. Right now, it's just like, it doesn't matter right now. Right now, it's just live in the moment. Terrestrial Festival we were just selling booster boxes for $80. You can see, shout out to Retrospecs. Retrospecs was selling them online for, $50. You could buy in for the pre-orders, and then they instantly went to 80. Now you're looking at prices. He just recently did a restock at 62. Yeah, you could shop around, probably get them cheaper, but, give Retro the plug. Give them a shout out. So, it went from 50 to $60. And that is for, like, want to call it a good price. You go on eBay, you're going to pay way more for it. You go on Whatnot, you're going to pay way more for it. But if you just, like, go through the back end channels, which our Instagram back end, no, but whatever. You just made 20% on a product that some people didn't even get it delivered to them in the mail yet. Shout out to McNick for becoming a channel member. McNick, I appreciate you. And Nikki Slabbage, appreciate the super chat. He said, PK, tell people we are collabing. Nikki Slabbage someday. But, yeah. What do you think? Like, just turn your brain off. Everything's immediate. 20% here. 25% here. 10% here. 5% here. 50% here. 10% here. Right now, we are in a moment of time where I'm picking up raw cards to grade for graded plays. I've been super busy with the Fanatics Live. If you guys haven't checked that out, in the description of this video, we have a referral code. We $20 off your first purchase. We got big stuff planned for the channel. Man, 2025 is going to be crazy. I'm going to talk about that, in upcoming videos. But we got big plans. But I haven't had time. Time's been super valuable to me. Still work my regular 9 to 5, and then I'm streaming, 5 nights a week on Fanatics, and I stream 1 night a week on YouTube. Sure, my YouTube lives are only about an hour long, but still streaming. Shout out to number one mod in the game, dropping the 10 PK memberships, pulling out all the lurkers. Drew, appreciate you. But anyways, haven't had any time to just do a PSA submission. I just recently did a PSA submission. I think I filled it out on Thursday, and it just went out in the mail. So it took, it was like a 95 card submission. Out of those 95 cards, a lot of those cards had just gone up in value. I didn't do anything. I just bought the cards, in preparation for grading them, and then I just got busy. I didn't want to go through and pre-grade them. I just didn't want to fill out the PSA submission form. It was so lazy. Just the purest form of laziness you can get in the hobby. The only reason those didn't go out was because I didn't want to pre-grade them or do a submission form or pack a package or print the PSA forms and put them in and just literally send them to the printer. When they print out, fold them in half and stick them in the box. You cannot get any lazier than what I just described to you. But I've also been super busy. And I was looking at some of the cards, and I'm like, all these cards have gone up in value. Every single one of them. And I didn't do anything. I just bought the cards and just got busy. Right now, it's just, you could buy stuff and instantly sell it for more money. Look at what's going on. We got 151 drops happening right now. We are very, very much in the now of 151 drops. I saw recently displays at Target that had the Zapdos boxes, booster bundles. Walmart just dropped a bunch of booster bundles. Pokemon Center just dropped a bunch of booster bundles. If you guys are not in the Rattle Discord, I don't know what you are doing at this point. You are so late in the game of just, Rattle has all the Discord bots. He just set it up recently, so now Canada Pokemon Center and the UK Pokemon Center are now going to get bots. So Rattle's really growing that. I talked about a long time ago. I said that Rattle Discord has made people 6 figures. It's getting close to 7 figures. It's made $1 million across the board for everybody. Easily. It's easily made $1 million. That is a big number. $1 million. I think it's easily $1 million. Maybe more. Just people following, and there's some people that are doing it way more than me. The terrestrial festival drops, not terrestrial, prismatic evolution, so the English that when they drop on Target or Best Buy, or obviously Pokemon Center hasn't dropped, but any of those, I click on them, and if I can't get through, I'm just not even worried about it right now. I'm just too busy. Can't really worry about trying to get a couple boxes from Best Buy or GameStop or Walmart or Target. It's just not worth my time for any of these pre-orders. But there's people out there doing that daily, and these guys are just cleaning up. Especially 151. Well, the 151 booster bundles that went up on Pokemon Center were it's $26 and change. You get 6 packs per booster bundle. And they're, you could easily on the secondary market sell packs for $7, and that's instant liquidity. I'm talking you could sell it to streamers who are paying 70%. They're paying $7 right now for 151 packs. That's $42. You pay 26, you instantly could sell them for 42. Turn your brain off. Brains don't need to be on. A lot of the hobby is just that. You turn your brain off right now. And yeah, if you buy one booster bundle and you spend $26 and then you sell the packs for $7 a piece and you make your 42 and then you package that up and you ship it, and yeah, you're probably not making any money just doing one. But there's people out there who got bots doing thousands. These guys, you got the bots that are pinging these websites, but then you got the bots that are scooping it up. I don't run these bots, but there's people just making so much money. Just ungodly, unheard of amount of money. And you look at this hobby and you just say, how much money is there? Can the money run out? Eventually it's got to run out. We're seeing everything is going up. You know, it's that saying, and you know, a lot of people are like, oh, it's not really true. Nikki said he just launched a product that will change the game. Nikki, did you launch a bot? But it's an old saying, rising tides lift all ships. It's true. I'm watching vintage go up. You know, it's harder for me to find a card doing bad than it is for me to find a card doing good. Like, to find poor performing things in this hobby right now, I have to actually, like, look hard. And that's why we're in a scary moment, too. Because all these new collectors that are hopping in right now, I just told you, just turn your brain off right now. Well, a lot of the new collectors, maybe their brains aren't turned off, but they don't know anything but success. Like, you have to really, really try to fail right now. Look at the most modern sets. You know, Japanese Terrestrial Festival, turn your brain off, just buy at release, make money. Surge and Sparks, if you bought at release, you made money. What's going on with the new sets? Like, you know, the next Scarlet and Violet sets, it's like, what was it? It was Safari Zone. Originally, we thought it was the Team Rocket set, but it was Scarlet and Violet 9. They didn't have a name of the set. Obviously, it's going to now be the trainer set. It's not going to be the Team Rocket set, which some people, it looks like the Rocket set's not going to be till April. But Scarlet and Violet 9 dropped at $999 on Safari Zone. There was no photo of a booster box. It was just a stock, like, guess that Pokemon booster box. Like, a grayed out booster box. We didn't have a set name for it. It just said SV9. And they sold out. Like 10,000. I forget the number. It was like 10. I think it was 10,000 booster box. Or it worked out. I remember we did the math. It was 160,000. So, okay, it was 1,600 booster boxes. So if it was 160,000, it had $100 a piece. It had to been or so 1,600 booster boxes. They didn't have the name of the set. They didn't have a photo of the set. They just put it out there, and it sold out in minutes. Not hours, not days, not weeks. It sold out in minutes. Because you know what? You just turn your brain off. I don't even know the SV9 name off the top of my head. I know it's been released. I've already like read the PokeBeach articles, and like it's already gone through in one ear, out the other. I'm usually pretty good. I know literally every single Pokemon set that was ever released. There's videos on my channel to prove it. If you don't believe me, I know them in order. I'm not going to do the whole PK where I go off and I name every set again. While some people will love that, there will be 99% of the people watching this will hate that again. But promise you, I know every set. The new sets, don't even remember the name. Just in one ear, out the other. But it doesn't matter. The people that bought at bought at $99.99, they're probably going to do really well. Think about that. The set that had no name, the set that had no photo, they're just going to do well. And anyone that did that buy, kudos to them. Because that was probably a good buy. And then I know they re-released, like their pre-orders are 120. So it already went up 20%. What did they do? They bought a set that they didn't know the name of it, and they didn't know what was on the booster box. They didn't know the cards that were in it. They just gave Safari Zone a free loan. And they did really good. And I tried to do that. And when I was in the group with Ponga and Dan did do that, and he was able to pick up a couple cases. And I said, my answer to them in the message was, next time this happens, please let me know. Because you just turn your brain off. Your brain does not have to be on. You could just buy the set that you don't know the cards. Team Rocket. I'm all in. I've been all in. I'm jump off the diving board. I don't even know how to dive. I know how to do a pencil dive. I just go straight in. Hope it's not the shallow end and I break both my kneecaps. But I know how to pencil dive. But I think I'm an Olympic diver. I'm on the highest rung of the highest board. And look, everybody's watching me and they're like, there's PK on the diving board. Oof, PK, you should probably go to the gym before he takes off his shirt. But anyways, he's okay, PK. And I'm just there, and I put my little cap on, and I'm jumping on the board, and I'm just, bleh. And you know what? I'm just going in, and I'm probably going to get a 10. You know why? Because that's just the market we live in. You would think that somebody that doesn't know how to dive off a diving board shouldn't go up to the highest rung and jump off, because he's probably going to belly flop, or he's going to be an idiot and jump into the shallow end and break both his kneecaps. But no, I'm coming out looking like an all-star. Everybody's got the signs up, and it's 10. 10's across the board. And then I come out of the water, and everybody's patting me on the back, and they're like, man, PK, that was a great dive. How long have you been practicing for? And I'm breathing heavy because my fat ass just had to swim through half of an Olympic-sized swimming pool. And I'm like, I've never dove before. That was my first time. And the room just gets silent. That's what's going on right now. It's like everyone just hit in perfect 10s. Nobody's jumped off that, but they're jumping, and they're hitting 10s. And you can't feel right now. That's a one thing successful Pokemon investors don't want you to know. You could hit anything right now. How long does that last? For a while. For a while. That's where we're at. I told you, I'm all in on Team Rocket. Can't name you one card in the set. I'm all in. I can't name you a card. I don't know one card in the set. We're going to be streaming on Fanatics. I'm waiting. We're already pumped up for Prismatic Evolutions. Comes out, what is it, January 17th next month? We got, Dan's been pretty transparent about his numbers, lower-ish 5 figures, not 10,000, not 20,000. Greater than $30,000 worth of Prismatic Evolutions coming our way. Not enough. Not enough. How much is enough? Definitely not that. Maybe 100,000. My thing is, it's no matter how much we get at release, we could sell it. Think about it. It's just, how much is too much? Do you have a number? Have you watched these whatnots and Fanatics and eBay Lives? How much is too much right now? There is no such thing right now. I just told you we're going to get, a decent amount, because Dan has distribution, and it's not like we're just getting our one case off Pokemon Center that we're going to stream. It's like, okay, we got the first wave of, Prismatic Evolutions, and before they cut the limit down from 4 ETBs, and now it's 2. We got our 4 ETBs. We're streaming our 4 ETBs. No, we're streaming pallets worth. And it's going to not be enough. It's not even going to be enough for a week. How much is too much then? Because 100,000 seems low. So that's 6 figures. 100,000's nothing. If you wanted to, let's just say you had $1 million worth of Prismatic Evolutions, which probably no one does. Maybe your P Football Pete, I doubt it. Even P Football Pete probably doesn't have $1 million worth of Prismatic coming his way. But if you did, I'll give you an example. P Football Pete. He did the first ever eBay Live a while back, but he just recently did another eBay Live. I don't know if you guys knew that. On Saturday it happened. So, shout out to Garen M. He messaged me, was like, hey, P Football Pete's on eBay Live, and they're doing a big pump for Prismatic Evolutions. And you know how much he's selling it for? So right now, MSRP is $49.99 or whatever, $54.99 if you get from Walmart or Target. He did a seal, P Football Pete, 1 per person, $69.99. People were tripping over themselves to pay $69.99 from a trusted eBay seller for pre-orders of Prismatic. People were like, there was Discord groups blowing up. P Football Pete is live on eBay, and he's selling Prismatic Evolutions ETB, 1 per person, one. $69.99, and people were like, this is the best deal, you can't pick. That was the best pre-order price, and sold out everything, just instant, 1 per person, and people were saying thank you, Thank you, P Football Pete. Thank you for allowing me to only spend $15 over MSRP. Thank you. That was at $69.99. He was the hero of the hobby on Saturday. The hero was only making $15 over MSRP. So whatever he had, he burned through a lot. A lot of people picked him up. It was a special eBay Live. I'm sure eBay was threw him a nice little kickback for it. I'm sure whatever he got some fees waived or whatever. Like, I can't even imagine. I'm not even going to start to speculate what P Football Pete's relationship with eBay is like, and like what kind of bone eBay threw him for him to sell prismatic ETBs for $69.99. But he also could have sold his for $80. Because right now there's obviously like scam accounts on eBay that are selling prismatic ETBs at $80 pre-orders. Please don't buy from these zero feedback. Oh, look, I got all these cases. We got, you know what I mean. But like, you could have sold at 80 and still been the hero of the hobby. Turn your brain off. Turn your brain off. You don't need a brain at this point. Like that, and that's the thing. So like everybody's saying like, what's not going up? Okay? Like that's what we should just do. We should make videos. That's just because that would be a challenge for me. It's like, okay, what is not going up right now? What is doing bad? And it's like, sure, you could look at corrections for modern sets. You could look at all these corrections, of course. It's like, hits from, Surge and Sparks. Yeah, the Pikachu SIR has gone down. But then you look at the Milotic, and the Milotic is up 80%. We're in the middle of people opening this shit. Yeah, the big hit went down. The first to market PSA 10, I literally brought the person on the channel that, did that. And asked him. And he knew first to markets are going to go down. Yeah, the first to market PSA 10s have went down. But then you still got set cards going up in value. And it's like, and then you're looking at a lot of these big hits from Terrestrial Festival too. The Master Balls are holding strong too. That Umbreon is a pricey card. When you have a Master Ball selling for higher than an SAR, pretty big deal. Why is that? Well, that Master Ball is actually pretty hard to pull. That is a set that has greater than 100 cards in it. In order to pull a Master Ball, you're not pulling one Master Ball per box. You are pulling the mirror M-I-R-R-O-R, mirror Pokeballs. You get like 2 to 3 per pack. And those are still pretty rare. But the Master Balls, I've opened up. So now I've officially opened up like close to 60 cases. Or not 60 cases. Wow, that would have been a lot. 60 boxes. And out of those 60 boxes, like my personal anecdotals, it looks like 1 out of every 3 booster boxes, maybe 1 out of every 2 has a Master Ball. So then, in order to pull every Master Ball, assuming you're not getting duplicates, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of boxes. So yeah, it makes sense that. But now this is the thing, when you look at, we'll talk about Master Balls from a historic standpoint. Well, we don't have much historic to stand on because Master Balls are still new, but from a historical sense, you can look at 151. Well, when 151 got released, Master Balls were undervalued. They were 1 per booster box, though. 20 packs opposed to the 10 for the specialty set. So maybe it is still probably more closer to 1 out of every 20 packs. But still, we're not valued at the beginning. It took people time to come around to it. But didn't take anybody any time. That card it was the most expensive card right off the rip. Umbreon Master Ball. Artistically, I mean, obviously the SAR blows that card. No, SAR Umbreon blows out the Master Ball by miles, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just rarity and scarcity. So not only are we running into a point in the hobby where you have people that are just going in blind, everything is a success for them, but even the cards that have good fundamentals, the fundamentals are actually doing well too. So now we're running into an even weirder timeline. It's like, I just told you could go in, turn your brain off, and buy everything. But then, when it comes to the actual fundamentals, and now we're starting to talk about pull rates and actual true chase, and not just the prettiest, shiniest, artist gonna art type card. Because I told you, that Umbreon, the SAR is way better artistically. But now you got that rarity and scarcity went in too, so you got a combination of everything. It's not just one thing, it's a bunch of things. When does this slow up? Doesn't slow up today. Definitely doesn't slow up. I'm looking forward to 2025. I got big plans for 2025. It's wild. I just told you I watched a Rudy video about a Magic the Gathering booster box that I can't name one card in it. And I just turned my brain off, went and bought a booster box, and 24 hours later, I'm up close to 50%. Anybody bought Terrestrial Festival at release for pre-orders, up 20%. Anybody who bought Surging Sparks at pre-order when they were selling for around $100 are up close to 100%. The Chinese 5th anniversary promos, anybody that bought those, up another 100%. Dan Catch'em Collectibles bought a shitload of, Pikachu with gray felt hat, spent $50,000 to pick up 400 of them. He's up on that. Like, tell me your losses. Like, what are you losing on? Are you losing? Yeah, you know what happens? Some people bought in for some of the SARs and, prices, like, they were probably a little bit easier to pull than some people thought, and prices crashed. We'll see what first the market 10s are like. One of the things I keep seeing people talk about, too, is the whole Beckett CEO shit, I've seen this in a lot of chats. It's like, do you think that Beckett is going to go the way of the dodo because, like, the owner, not even the owner, the CEO of the parent company is in legal hot trouble? And I'm just like, people don't understand Beckett at all. Like, if you're asking that question, that could be the best thing that ever happened to Beckett. Just like the best thing that ever happened to MetaZoo, in my opinion, was MetaZoo went bankrupt. You know why? Because freaking Charlie Herlacher came in, and with Meta2 and that whole, squad of people he has, and they picked up MetaZoo, and MetaZoo is going to get released sometimes first quarter next year. And you know what? I am the biggest hater of MetaZoo that ever existed. I'm such a troll of MetaZoo that I went out and I bought a first edition Kickstarter booster box when MetaZoo filed for bankruptcy, and then I did a MetaZoo Kickstarter booster box break on this channel because it was the biggest troll that I could think of. It was my way of dancing on MetaZoo's grave. Like, PK, and you know what? My first ever product of MetaZoo I ever purchased was a first edition Kickstarter MetaZoo box to break on this channel as a meme. I'm a hater of MetaZoo. Well, Charlie bought it, and I'm going to be buying into MetaZoo first quarter because I'm like, turn my brain off. Well, first of all, I'm not really turning my brain. I think Charlie's going to do huge with it. And I think if those guys don't get greedy, and the first set, if it could truly be rare and scarce and prices are going to go crazy up for that first quarter, me just buying in, I'm going to instantly do well. And I'm willing to just speculate hard on that, And I don't know what speculate's going to be hard. I don't know what the distribution's going to be like, what the limits are going to be, but I'm going to try to get a decent position in MetaZoo, things I would rather be caught dead or rather be dead than to actually mutter those words a couple months back. But now I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. Same thing with Beckett. Man, if Beckett, whoever owns Beckett, could lose Beckett and it could go to bankruptcy and could go to filing and somebody could buy Beckett, I would go. There's like a bus stop, like a couple, I don't know, maybe a couple miles down the road, and like, I'm sure there's probably somebody out there right now standing waiting for the bus. And in my opinion, I don't know who that person is. Maybe they're holding a 12-pack of Miller Lite on there, and they just worked their long day and they're ready to go home and get a little ripped. I don't know who that dude is. He takes the bus. He's probably got a DUI. He's probably had some rough times. And he's got his 12-pack of Miller Lite. I'd rather have that guy running Beckett. I don't even know what his name is. And I'm sure he's got a terrible backstory. But I'd rather have him run Beckett than the current, ownership of Beckett. So when people say, PK, do you think this is going to be a bad thing? No, we could only hope that it will become a really bad thing and then it will become a great thing. There is no underutilized area of the market more than Beckett grading services. Beckett Grading Services could be, they can never be one in my opinion, but they could be real number two. Like a real number two. Whatever numbers CGCs are doing, Beckett could do it. Beckett, you think, is not a real company sometimes. You ask, is there anybody in the shipping and receiving? Do they really get your cards? Is there really graders? Does the grader open the package, answer all the emails, grade your cards, sonically weld the card, then package it? Your cards go out there, you prepay for all the money, and then they go out into the ether. There is no tracking. It's just, Jesus, take the wheel on this one. But instead of Jesus, you just, Beckett, take the wheel. Maybe the cards will come back to me. I don't know when. I don't know how. Maybe they'll just show up one day. That's a lot of people's Beckett. It's like, hey, I got a Beckett submission. Oh, when do you think it's going to get back? I don't know. I just hope one day the UPS guy rings my doorbell, the FedEx guy rings my Ring camera, and he leaves the package out front, or I have to sign for it. Like, that is people's ideal situation. It's just like, I just hope they come back. I don't know where they are. I don't know if they've received them. I don't know if they've opened the package. I think they did. I'm looking at my tracking on my end. I see it was delivered, but that's it. Anything is better than the current Beckett, like, management structure. Anything. If Charlie Herlacher, instead of buying MetaZoo, just bought Beckett Grading Services, better bet your ass I'd be all on the Beckett train. I'd be like, Beckett is the future. Beckett grading all day. 9.5s going up. Beckett 10s going up. Black labels to the moon, baby. Oh, grading fees are going down. Oh, we're going to have a nice back end. It all going to make sense. Beckett is going to be the premier grading card service behind PSA. There won't even be a question of a doubt of what the second one is. So, yeah, like, if the CEO, good. Let him go. Anything is better than what we have right now. What do you guys want? That's the one thing successful Pokemon investors don't want you to know. Because successful Pokemon investors right now want to big brain everything. I want a big brain everything. Maybe I'm big brain in some stuff, like, or at least maybe I'm pretending. Maybe I'm telling myself I'm big brain and stuff, but I just told you I bought a bunch of cards and then was too lazy to put a PSA submission together. And the cards just went up in value because they sat in this drawer. They just sat here. And this is like more cards that need to go away for grading, and I just don't have them away for grading. Turn off your brain. Your brain is on. You're doing something wrong. You gotta just turn off your brain. Now, will that change? There will come a day. There'll come a time where it changes. See, this is the thing. Like, this is where these videos like this, like, trigger people. It's like PK is telling people to just say, screw it. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'm watching the Timmies are just pouring in. Remember how I told you rising tides lift all boats? The Timmies are a tsunami. And here's PK just sitting on the beach. Look at this. I got my legs up. I got my nice Star Wars pajama. Look, I got my Star Wars pajama pants on. Little ankle for you guys. There's my feet. Just laying here. PK's just sitting on the beach. Got my pina colada. Maybe I live in Japan. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm getting that retrospect hookup in Japan. But I'm just sipping on my pina colada. And then I see the beach, the water. It starts to pull back a little bit. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, that's a little weird. Then all these sirens start going on, like these warning sirens. And I'm just sitting there drinking my pina colada. It's not a busy beach. There's, it's sporadic. There's people with their towels and their umbrellas. And then I see everybody start to get up. Like, these moms are picking up their kids and they're running up the beach. And I'm just sitting there drinking my pina colada like, what's going on? And then in the distance, I just see like this I see something. I'm not sure what it is. It's just a big ass wave. And on that wave is just all the Timmies. And they're coming. And I know what's going on now. And I'm watching everybody run. And you know what I'm doing? Still got my legs up. Still sipping on my pina colada on the beach. And I'm just saying, fuck it. And I just sit there. I take my sunglasses off the top of my head. Slide my sunglasses on. And I just sit in my chair. And as millions of gallons of water just come and hit me in the face and just crush me to death. And in that giant wave, it's just a wave of Timmies. And the Timmies just don't give a flying fuck. They're just, that is it. So with the rising tide, yeah, it lifted all ships, but it brought a tsunami of Timmies. And listen, I love the Rattle Discord. I think it's the best Discord that ever existed. And I recommend 100% if you guys are not in the Rattle Discord to join it. But you could see Rattle's really good at all the Rattle Discord mods. Are super good at moderating it, and they've been able to make groups. And some of the groups that they've made are like the Flipper Dipper chat, and just watch people talk about the restocks. And it's like, oh boy, a lot of the people are just like, PK, what's the name of that chat, that Discord chat with the bots? The bots one, the bots one, the ones that's the bots. We need to know about the bots, PK. And then I just watch that chat, and it's pretty entertaining. The bots, PK. And then just, I get it, but like some of the people that are coming in, I'm just like, oh boy, we're at the Evolving Skies is vintage conversation. Evolving Skies is vintage, guys. Did you know that? I feel like the old man on the rocking chair, sipping on his iced tea in his home, and all the kids are sitting around me, and they're like, hey, old man PK, can you tell me about Evolving Skies? And I go, well, there, little Timmy, let me tell you about when Evolving Skies was released. And then all the kids are like, wow. And then they walk away, and they're like, he's an old-ass man, isn't he? And they're like, yes, he is. He remembers Evolving Skies. Like, we're the old men telling the stories in the rocking chairs, too. We're on the beach. Now we're in rocking chairs. We're all over the place. This is just a stream of conscious thought all the time. If this is what you guys are tuning in for, God bless you. Unknown said, can you show your feet, please? That's gonna, super chat, please. Unknown, how much are these feet worth it for you for the super chat? Oh boy, this is where we spiraled down to. Alrighty. That is the PK rant for the beginning. Now let's go look at the old chat. We got Flower City Card said first. Katie Lowen said, here we go. What else? Who else re-up some 151 booster bundles from Pokemon Center? There we go. Like, free money. Katie, good job. Katie turned her brain off. She said, booster bundles up on Pokemon Center. Free tendies. What was it? I think it was order limit of 5 or 6. So, instant money. Like, if it was a order limit of $500. Like, instant. $100. Like, whatever you put your credit card in, you could pre-sell those to people before you get them and be like, hey, I got packs for $7. People are like, I'll take them. $7? And that's like, I told you, that's the giving away to streamers who are paying low prices. You shop it around, you're going to get even more. Basic Trainer, good to see ya. Jimbo Slice says, stupidest thing he's ever heard of about, the booster boxes getting taken away. D-Flip says, the Kaladesh. We got Rattle Pokemon in the chat. Rattle, good to see ya. Pokemon Classics says, hi, greetings all. Retrospect says, Using Brain has been losing people for money for 5 years now. Yeah, just turn off your brain. Mick said, PSA made me shiver in the best way today. PSA always got you. I don't see any questions, though. Chris says, finally made alive, and I couldn't be more excited. PK, do you think the Zygarde game coming will affect black and white singles in a significant way. Black and white singles are, one, their print quality is pretty shitty. Number two, they're super hard to source. Maybe. Probably not. Moderner the better. You know? Can't, yeah. No, probably not. I don't think it'll have an effect. Retro PK noticed me. Got to the point where number one mod in the game, Drew, dropping the 10 memberships, dropping and pulling out all the lurkers. Let's see. Chillphil said people are losing their shit when the Pokemon Center restocked it. Yeah. It's just, I mean, we're free Tendyland. Then this is the thing. There was the restock of 151 booster bundles, and there would be people out there who'd be like, I didn't know Pokemon Center restocked booster bundles because they're just not in the route Discord. Get in there. What are you waiting for? So D-Flip says, PK, I scooped up 1,000 packs just in the last 2 weeks for 151 English, and the best part is I'm not selling any of them. Are we just getting started? Hey, man, if I don't know, I'm selling. Nobody ever went broke in this hobby taking profits. Hyper Being Collectibles said, divorce dad card set to the moon. Let's see. So Agent Crypto said, question, do you like the Paradox Rift and Temple Force? I already answered this last. So do I like the Paradox Rift and Temple Forces gimmick for like future and ancient Pokemon? I think I answered this in the last live. I just don't think enough people care about them because then too many people are surface level, so they won't know like who is this the ancient form of. Wait, the Iron Crown is the future Cobalion? Who is Cobalion? You know, like that is where people are gonna say. Like, I think that it's like Iron Valiant, Glade. Oh, I don't know that. You know, it's or the Roaring Moon and stuff like that. It's just I think it's like Skarmory. Who is a Skarmory? You know, I think the problem is people just don't know enough about it, so they don't care. So therefore, it would just kind of get pushed away. Like the cards are cool, the artworks are cool. There's now that is too broad of a statement, but I just think there's not going to have the mass appeal, and mass appeal means, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, people are super excited to open that. I look at stuff that has like carrying capacity and what is fun to open, not just today and a month and 10 years from now. Like 151, what has good set identity? 151 will always be fun to open. Anybody will be able to open 151. You could pull somebody right out of 1999. If you had a time machine, speaking of Paradox and Temporal, if you had the ability to travel through the temple paradox of time travel, you could go back to 1999 and you could pull little Timmy right out of there and you just plop him right here today and you put a pack of 151 in front of him. Little Timmy knows every card. And then you got that same little Timmy, if you didn't go back and pull him through time, he grew up. And maybe he never touched a pack of Pokemon cards, but he put a pack of 151 in front of him. Little Timmy, even though he's all grown up, he goes, I remember all these Pokemon cards. I remember all these Pokemon. Is Charizard still the chase? And you go, yes, Big Timmy. Charizard still is the case. And he goes, wow. He goes, what about Blastoise and Venusaur? And you go, yup. And you go, there's a Mew on the pack artwork. Is there a good Mew in there? I'll be like, well, grown up Timmy, there's actually a couple Mews. You have the gold Mew, metal one, that comes in the UPC. You have a alt-art version Mew that comes in the UPC. You have a regular gold card that comes in a pack. And then you have the full art Mew comes in the pack. And grown-up Timmy's going to look at you and go, wow, this is great. I want to open some of this stuff. That's all you need. Now, you pull same little Timmy out of 1999. You put a pack of Temporal Forces in front of him. Little Timmy doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And then you don't take little Timmy through time. You just have old grown-up Timmy. And you're like, here, grown-up Timmy, here's a pack of Temporal Forces. And he's like, what is this? I don't know any of these Pokemon. And he'll be like, is this good? And you're like, yes, little Timmy, just pulled an SIR. And he's going to go, what's an SIR? So that's staying capacity. Think like the evolution set, prismatic evolutions. That set's going to be fun to open forever. All big evolution hits, 33 for the Japanese, 33 SARs. A third of them are evolutions, so you're still going to brick on 2 out of every 3 SARs you pull. So you're not even going to get all the evolutions. Then it has God packs. I did pull a God pack last night. I pulled 3 God packs so far. I pulled 2 of what's called the Demi-God packs. So the Demi-God packs are just the regular mirror hollow Pokeballs in it. And then the last 3 cards are SARs. And then I also pulled the actual, like, hardcore God pack. So where you get every single evolution in it. Everyone. So you get the Umbreon, the Espeon, the Jolteon, the Flareon, the Vaporeon, the Sylveon, the Leafeon, the Glaceon. You get them all. Probably missing one. What did I not say? I don't know. Probably missing one that I didn't say. But you get them all in one pack, and I pulled that yesterday. And it was freaking hype. It was hype. I was super excited to do that. And, like, it snuck up on me, too, because the first card in the pack is just like a regular non-hollow. And I pulled it, and the first card, bam, staring me right in the face was the Umbreon. That was the top card. And it just stared, and I just went, I was like, it's happening. We're going to do it. And then I just opened it, and every single evolution was in there. It was a ton of fun. That is a set that has staying capacity. 10 years from now, people still want to pull God packs. 151 people will still want. Team Rocket, if Team Rocket doesn't totally shoot themselves in the foot, 10 years from now, people are going to want it. It's the same way as, looking at vintage stuff to today. Yeah, I'm sure there's people out there that would like to open a pack of Emergent Powers because it would be fun, and like maybe they think because it's black and white, they're like, this is black and white, this is from 2010, this is the second set of black and white Emergent Powers. I'm sure there's cool cards in it, and then you tell them it's like, yeah, it's a Thundurus and a Tornadus full art, and they're like, yeah, that will still be cool, but like, do they, or would they rather open a base set pack, Well, why is one set so much better than the other? Why is base set so much better than that? Or any of the vintage sets. Base set, Jungle, Fossil, even base set 2, because you're still going to be able to pull, like, the Cosmos Hollow Charizards and stuff, Team Rocket, Gym Heroes, Gym Challenge, Neo Genesis, Neo Discovery, Neo Rev, Neo Destiny, Legendary Collection, Expedition, Aquapolis, Skyridge. Why are any of those sets fun to open? Well, they're Wizard of the Coast, and they all have Gen 1, Gen 2 Pokemon in it. And then the same thing with all, like, the Nintendo stuff. Why are all those good? Ruby Sapphire, Sandstorm, Dragon, Team Aqua, Team Magma. Hidden Legends, Fire Red, Leaf Green. Why are those fun? Because they all have cool holos in it. Introduction to EX cards. Like, beautiful, like, nice cards. Team Rocket Returns Deoxys, like Gold Stars. These are cool. But it's like, would somebody rather open a Team Rocket Returns pack, or would somebody rather open up a EX Emerald pack? Would somebody rather open a Delta Species pack, or Team Rocket Returns, or Power Keepers, or Team Rocket Returns? And it's like, maybe like, you'll have your arguments for, like, whatever, Hollow Phantoms and Crystal Guardians and, like, those later ones where people are making arguments. But as long as a set has good set identity, it's going to carry long term. But, like, the weak sets, I know. A lot of people are Diamond and Pearl fans. But great encounters, like, do you want to open a pack of Diamond Pearl Great Encounters? It's like, how much does a pack of Diamond Pearl Great Encounters cost? Or what can you do with that same money in other areas of the hobby? Where somebody would probably be more willing to do a regular OG base set pack, spend a couple $100 more to, like, have an enjoyable, or Diamond and Pearl, Majestic Dawn, Mysterious Treasures. It's like, well, why don't these sets carry stronger? Yeah, Secret Wonders is still a strong set, but that is my rant. So Nikki Salabich said, Dentist, my buddy, and I just launched a bot that compares all the listings of slabs of the same card on eBay /Mercari. Interesting. Uh, let's see. D Flippin said, imagine buying 5 cases of Paradox temporal and so on, and me buying pallets of 151 UPCs. LL, in the light of the sun that no one cared. Call me X. See, this is my argument about those 151 UPCs. This group, I don't think I heard anyone say that those were bad buys. I feel like everyone was like, when people were like 151 UPCs, everybody was just in agreement, like, yeah, that's a good buy. Now, that could be a jaded, we're deep down the rabbit hole talking about this channel, but everybody was like, yeah, $80 151 UPCs is a good buy. And then people are going to be like, oh, well, they sat forever, nobody wanted them. It's like, yeah, they didn't. No, they didn't really sit that long. They sat, but like, people were still buying them, but people only have so much liquidity at one point. So, Pokemon Classic says PK is a Scrooge McDuck of the Team Rocket product, pretty much. uh, let's see. Cryptomon said, that thing gonna crash and burn to Earth. Eventually you'll be right. Nikki said, can you tell Dan to stop shill pumping CGC and tag? Everyone knows I don't think Dan is shill and tag or CGC. Let's see. But yeah, people are just talking like it's wild times. Jimbo Slice says, isn't Shrouded Fable still dirt cheap? It is, but like if you can get, I mean, you can get into Shrouded Fable for like $34 right now. Turn your brain off. Like, might be a good buy. Shrouded Fable is junk. But like you probably still do good at 35. It's just like, am I putting money into Shrouded Fable? No. I'm putting money into other stuff right now because I see quicker gains, but I don't think Shrouded Fable is a bad buy at 34. There's just too many other better ones. I think singles right now, I think the place to be is singles. Turn off your brain. We are back to grade popular Pokemon in PSA 10. If it's a cool artwork, shout out to Rattle Pokemon if Rattle's still in this chat. Crown Zenith, card I was super bullish on way too early, since the rip. The only secret rare in Crown Zenith, there's only one secret rare, it's a Pikachu. No, the Arceus, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, the gold cards, no, they are not secret rares. I don't care which PSA slab says. I know it says secret. They are not secret rares. They're still part of like the trainer galleries. There's only one secret rare technically in Crown Zenith, and that is the Pikachu. I was super bullish on that card. People could have been buying the shit out of that thing. Now that thing's starting to go up. That thing was $35 at release, crashed all the way down to $5. Me and Rattle talked about it. I traded him a full art trainer. I forget which one. But yeah, look at that card. It's going up, and now because the secret rare Pikachu from Crown Zenith had like a little buyout and the price is going up, you know what happened? People are talking about it because prices went up. It's that simple. It's like people want stuff when prices go up. It's like, have you seen the secret rare Pikachu from Crown Zenith? Do you see the prices? Is that a play? Sure, everything's a play. So Poke Trainer Hub said, any thoughts on when it's a good time to take profit? Would love to invest with house money eventually. Right now is a great time to take some money off the table. I'm not saying sell everything, but if that's the thing, if you want to start playing with house money, there is no better time than today. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. The best time is right now. Because you got a lot. I mean, there's a lot of cheap stuff still. I mean, Silver Tempest just went out of stock on Pokemon Center. Like, that was out on there for a while, and we're probably going to start to see Silver Tempest run. Pokemon Center ETBs are on a freaking tear. Pokemon Center stamp promos on a tear. Anything that has an exclusive stamp on a tear. Moonbreon's on a tear. There's a lot of sets that are kind of stagnant right now. Like, right now, my advice to you is just monitor the better. Get in while the water's warm. Get in. We are all lobsters. It's warm right now. They put us in a cold pot. I'm a lobster. They put us in a cold pot. They put the lid on. But the water's warm. It's okay. Get in. You ever hear a lobster scream? We haven't got to that point yet. But yeah, lobsters, they scream. And then we're going to try to knock that lid off. And we're going to do our best to get out of this boiling pot of water pretty soon. But right now, we're okay. And maybe if the water only comes up to a raging boil slowly, it doesn't just heat up too fast, maybe we will just get cooked alive. I think that's frogs. So I think frogs are the ones that if you just slowly bring the water to a boil, frogs won't freak out. Frogs will just get boiled alive. Maybe we're frogs and not lobsters, because lobsters scream. Maybe we're just frogs. We're just slowly being cooked alive. But the water's warm right now. Come on in. Come on. Hop on in. It's fun. Splish splash. It's fun. Come on. Splish splash. All the cool kids are doing it. Ever hear that saying? It's like, oh, if Timmy jumped off a bridge, would you jump off a bridge too? And it's like, Timmy jumped off a bridge? I'm there. And you just sprint out of the house. And you're just full running down the street. You're just jumping off the bridge because Timmy jumped off of it. And your mom's like, oh, what have I done? What have I done? That backfired. Stream of conscious thought. That is just constantly what we're doing on this channel. This is just slowly watching somebody go into craziness. All right. Where are we at next? Antonio says, I was refreshing the Best Buy app while on the toilet and actually beat the rattle notification for Bloomin' Waters boxes by 30 seconds and still wasn't able to check out a single one. That is rough. So BinX says, caught a bunch of prismatic ETBs on Walmart today. Hope others did too. Yeah, I mean, every day they're restocking. Every day. Let's see. So Steve says, Sup PK, do you anticipate Pokemon to reprint Prismatic and Surgeon into the ground given how crazy they're saying? I hope so. I mean, yes, I am anticipating it, but I'm also anticipating crazy demand for Team Rocket. Only print so much stuff. But like, you know, usually we'll see reprints in like June, July, August, which is normal. Which is 6-7 months away. A lot of stuff could happen in 6-7 months. Fortunes will be made and lost in the next 6 months. And there'll be a lot of people sitting on big bags of Surgeon Sparks that they bought in at $200 a box. And if reprints come, and then it'll be dependent how big are reprints. You know, there's just so many what ifs. If reprints are just a blip in the radar, yeah, we'll see like a whatever $10, $15 price correction, and then everything would just settle, and then people will think that there's no more restocks coming. And we saw like super high demand sets. We saw what real reprints did. You know, Evolving Skies, real reprints knocked it down to sub 100, but it wasn't able to keep it there for long. And then at the $140 mark, we got another reprint and it knocked down the 120. And that 120 reprint, our price point lasted for like 3 days. And then it was back to 140 for that fourth and final reprint. Strong sets have strong demand. Now, I live in just the day. I don't know what I'm going to buy tomorrow. I might watch a Rudy video tomorrow and some other Black Swan event happens for Magic the Gathering, and here I am, I'm buying it. Or something happens at Pokemon, or some promo gets released, or some product, or something happens, or we hear about a reprint, or we hear about... I don't know. I don't know what tomorrow brings. I always use the example when GameStop, it was Silver Tempest, Build and Battle kits. Or, Build and Battle stadiums were listed for $20. So Build and Battle stadiums had 8 packs, so the 2 Build and Battles, so 4 packs, 8, and then 4 loose packs. So it was 12 packs for $20. And I always say at the time of that, when, you know, obviously GameStop meant to do booster bundles, but they accidentally did Building Battle stadiums. So it was a big mess up by them, but they honored that $20 price. I always talk about it. At the time, I wasn't in the market for Build and Battle stadiums of Silver Tempest, but because they were $20, guess what? I was in the market. And it's the same thing with a lot of this stuff. It's like I might not be in the market for some of this stuff today, but who knows what tomorrow's going to bring. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. What will tomorrow bring? Every day in this hobby, it's just excitement after excitement, thrill after thrill, new person after new person coming in, bad take after bad take. Hopefully this is just a bad take. Turn off your brain. That's a bad take. The Forever Bears eventually will get their day. I don't know when they're going to get it. I don't know how they made it to this channel, but they'll get it. All right. Jimbo Slice says, how do us little people without distro get booster boxes at reasonable prices for new sets? Well, for the last couple months, it was pretty easy. But now it's hard. It's just... PokeDad said, is buying from Rudy's Patreon worth it? For do you know, PK? I'm pretty sure, like, it's not worth it. From my understanding is that everything he sells is... There's usually cheaper places to find product. The only time it was ever really worth it was when MetaZoo was kind of popping off and you could get like the Rudy MetaZoo promos and stuff. And even that, his MetaZoo kits were super expensive. But, you know, if you want to support Rudy, like, go ahead. I used to be like anti-Patreon for stuff. Just go support people. Is what it is. Maybe it's, yeah. Vinex says, always time to take profits, but especially now. Sending packs and slabs to Dan helped me buy my lady a wedding ring this month. X, congratulations, buddy. Popping the question. Did you don't have to tell me, did you go real diamond, artificial, or lab diamond? With my wife, I went real diamond. She doesn't even wear a ring anymore. So, spent a lot of money on it. Pokey Troy said, do you think it's good to invest in Celebration Pokemon Center ETBs and ETBs at market price right now? Oh my god. Buying Celebration ETBs so far after the fact. Can I just ask you, like, why? Just tell me why. Like, let's have a conversation, Poketony. Why do you think Celebrations Pokemon Center ETBs, why do you think, looking at everything on the market, looking at how much of a crazy run up those Celebrations Pokemon Center ETBs, why do you think that they are a good buy? I'm reversing the question. Why do you think it's a good buy? Because you could answer that question for yourself. My answer to that is I have one sealed case of Celebrations Pokemon Center ETBs that I'm not selling right now onto the market. I'm just sitting on them. Got my one case. But I'm not selling them. It's just because my entry point is so low that I see the reason why I'm not selling it is because my downside risk is very minimal. One, they're bulky. They're tougher to ship than just like a slab or whatever. So for me, it's just a matter of, it's just one case, and my price point is entry point from Pokemon Center at time of release. So for me, it's worth it to just keep them sealed and just kind of see what they're going to do. That's where I'm at. Just see what it's going to do. But for you, the question is like, why now? Why not at release? Like, did you have them at release? Or are you just getting into the hobby? I don't know. Poketrainer Hub says, you invest in any other assets like stocks or crypto? I do have my stocks, but yeah, I'm just busy. Pokemon takes up a lot of my money. But either way, made it to the bottom of the chat. Listen, guys, appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you, Arceus, for making this hobby a crazy place every day. You never know what tomorrow's going to bring. All right, guys. Love you. Appreciate you. Do me a favor. Hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button if you're new to this channel. If you don't hit the subscribe button, go kick rocks. I don't like you anyways. I only like the cool people. All right, you're not cool. All right, love you guys. Talk to you later. Don't be like